we go? Play something, late.
Okay.
Let's bang it on here. So it's a vesuva, davo veleyakum. So it's a vesuva, davo veleyakum kimanu rei. So it's a vesuva, davo veleyakum kimanu rei. Hey, so it's a vesuva, davo veleyakum. Oh, so it's a listen from that would have lay up to on the way. Oh, so it's a listen from that would have lay up to keep on the way.
Hey kids, what time is it?
It's time for Gezintahait Street.
It is time for Gezintahait Street. And the story tonight is a story that we may have told before, but a story you could tell again. And the story is about the dot in Modeh Ani. The previous Rebbe told a story about a conversation between the two sons of the Rebbe Marat. There was a 9-year-old Rashab, Shalom Daber, who would later become the Rebbe Rashab, and his brother, the 11-year-old Zalman Aaron, who was known as the Razah. The Razah asked the younger Shalom Ber to explain the function of the dot. It's the only punctuation in Modeh Ani after the word in mercy, v'chemla, in Modeh Ani, in prayer that we say upon awake. Everybody knows what that prayer is. We thank Hashem for the soul.
Modeh Ani lifonecha. I give thanks before you, Melech Chai v'Kayim, a king who is
live king,
alive, what's the Kayim
and
existing king. Shechazavta b'nishmasi, that you gave me back my soul, you returned it to me
in the morning.
V'chemla, with kindness,
With mercy.
with mercy. That's a better word. It's a better word. It has oil in it. Mercy, Rabba Emonasecha, great is your.
So after the word bechemla, in mercy, there's a punctuation point. It's a dot. So the older brother asked the 9-year-old brother, explain to me what that dot symbolizes. What's it doing there? The Rashab, the younger brother, answered that the dot symbolizes the point of the Jewish soul, that Hashem gives us each day in his great mercy. Then the older brother said, so why do we need to daven every day? If Hashem gives us our soul, what do we accomplish by davening? We have a Jewish soul already. So the younger brother that said, the 9-year-old, explained that the dot symbolizes the essence of the soul in the heart of every Jew. And the whole function and intention of the dot is to spread out through the daily prayers until it becomes revealed in all the limbs of the person. It starts out in the inner level of the heart, as Hirsch knows very well. And it spreads out through the prayers, through the davening, to the whole person. And this can be seen by the fact that the word bechemla, the word in mercy, occurs later in the prayer where it says, Abba, your love is everlasting, Abbas Olam. in the prayer right before Shema, V'solam, your love is everlasting. In that case, however, there is no dot. The word in mercy is there, but there's no dot. Why? This indicates that one's prayers brought about the revelation and actualization of that dot, that it's spread out. It doesn't stay a dot, it gets spread out. At that point, Hashem's merciful act of restoring the essence to the Jew has become revealed, has become manifest. Some years later, the Red Rashab expanded on his earlier teaching that the dot in Modani symbolizes the inner point of the Jewish heart, which defines the essence of a Jew, but it needs to be spread out to become revealed in all the limbs of the body, and that this dynamic has to take place in every Jew every day. Rashab added that the law is that one who has not yet purified himself through washing his hands, he's still impure, he hasn't washed his hands, he hasn't done a mitzvah yet, he hasn't learned any Torah yet, says, thank you, Hashem, for giving back my soul. To thank Hashem for implanting the Jewish soul in his heart. And even one who has questions, and as a result, is unable to expand the point of his Jewishness to all the limbs of his body, he must know that despite this blockage, no Jew can be separated from this essential point that Hashem gives us in the inner point of our heart that we're Jewish. The next phrase in Modani is, you have returned my soul to me. Shechazarta bi nishmasi, you have returned my soul. It's not dependent on the person's choice or desire. Hashem gives the person the inner essence of his Jewish existence, even against his will. With mercy, and he gives it with mercy, and this gift is not to make things difficult for the person. The opposite of what it says, it's hard to be a Jew. Just the opposite. It comes from Hashem's unbounded grace and mercy in order to be manifest in this physical world in which the soul must dwell. So it says, Bechem lo rabo amunasechel, great is your trustworthiness, Hashem. We can ask a question. The person has no tools. He hasn't even washed his hands yet. He has no Torah and mitzvah. He doesn't have any kelim. He has no vessels to actualize the process of manifesting that mercy. The Rashab answers that every Jew has innate faith and trust in Hashem. As it says, the children of Israel are believers, the sons of believers. And from the starting point of faith, a person widens the dot until it's drawn completely into his whole being. And this is the continuing lesson recounted by a Rebbe who was the son of a Rebbe. A Jew has to know that he is the subject of the living and eternal King, who is the King of this physical universe, and who, in his great mercy, implanted the inner essential point of Jewishness in each Jew. That King commands him, it's now time to stand and pray and to know in front of whom you are standing. This world is not an empty void, I already said. There is a master of this city. There is a living and eternal King. And the function of the prayers is for the Jew to reveal that essence point into his whole existence, from where it can be further drawn to his portion of the world, for which he is responsible until the world around him is illuminated by that point of godliness. We want Mashiach now.
Wow, B'Tzalel, Hashem has a lot of mercy, huh? He sure has a lot of mercy.
Mercy. Have mercy.
Have mercy, mercy, mercy me. Nu late, was sagst du?
At one time, I lived around the corner from 7th and Mercy Street. right around like half a block away. Instead of the
You want to do a joke song that's all?
A what?
A joke song?
A joke song?
I mean, a joke song.
A joke song.
Serious is what? A serious joke song.
Okay. If the mikvah was mashka.
If the mikvah was mashka.
And I was a duck.
Oh, I was a duck.
I swim to the bottom and never come out. Tell me how
long
do I have to wait? Can I get my Mashiach now? Or must I hesitate? Well, the mikvah's not mashka.
No, the mikvah's not mashka.
And I'm not a duck.
I'm not a duck.
When I swam to the bottom, I'm swimming up. Tell me how
long
do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now? Or must I hesitate? Merciful King,
oh merciful King,
all the work is done.
The work is done.
Don't you think it's time for you to have some fun? Tell me how
long
do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now? Or must I hesitate? Now come on, children.
Come on, children.
We're gonna have some fun.
We're gonna have some fun.
You ain't seen nothing
Like the Holy One.
Tell me how
How
long do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now?
Almost a hesitate. Hey, the yam bam ba ba ba. Hey, the yam bam bam. The yam bam bam bam. The yam bam bam. Oh yeah, yam bam bam bam. The yam bam bam bam. The yam bam bam bam. Tell me how long
do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now? Oh yeah.
That's good stuff.
So Gimel Ellen.
Yeah.
Last time we were speaking about, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. I remember what we were speaking about. We were speaking about lots of things.
Lots of things.
Yeah, but we're going to actually talk about them now again.
Okay.
And so I can remember even better, we're going to go over the whole thing.
Yeah. After the understanding of Bina, remember?
Yeah. So, after the understanding of Bina.
What's the understanding of Bina?
The understanding of Bina?
Bina is how each lower level is included in the level higher than that, all the way up until how everything is included in the godliness, both Malchus and Mitzvah.
Aha.
And the example for that will be when the angels say, holy, holy, holy.
Yeah.
Each holy is a level going up to try to be included in godliness.
Each holy is higher than the other.
Yeah. Each holy is higher than the other. And that's the understanding of godliness, that you're never going to reach it through going through the stages.
But you keep going
But you
up
do
and
your
up and
best
up.
to keep going up, because the real seeing of the being is in Chachma. Bina is only the hearing of the theory of how it is.
It's the hero of Israel.
Yeah.
So after the understanding of Bina, of how Malchus of Atzilus is unified in the created revealed worlds, which is called that's the lower unity, in general and in particular, and the seeing, which is Chachma, the higher unity, of how the hidden world, how Atzilus is unified with its emanator, with the Ma'atzil, because the world of Atzilus is the world that is emanated. It's the world of emanation, and then there's the emanator, which has emanated this world. And to understand this in general and in detail, one comes to the seeing in the mind of the true being, which is the true nullification of all the worlds to the essence of the infinite light. The
Like
true
it says in
existence.
Torah Or.
Yeah, like it says in Torah, that this is the only true existence, that there is no other true existence, to which everything else, by comparison, has no existence at all, because it's all nullified and included in him. And this whole contemplation, his boinenus, is hinted to in the void, "Hear, O Israel." Because well, Shema. Let's talk about this now in more particular. Because there is the void Shema here, that it means it's Shem Ayin, and the Ayin is not just an Ayin; it's a big Ayin. So just like my mashpia told me when I was in yeshiva, he told me, "Yeah, Gimel Feh, you're a big Ayin." I think he meant something different. He meant you're a big nothing. Anyways, different story. But it's Shem Ayin and a big Ayin, and the Shem indicate, which means it indicates and includes all the voyels, all of existence through a reflection, which is called name. Because this is what Shem in Hebrew is name, and this is because
so it's Shem Ayin.
Yeah, and then there's the big Ayin, which it indicates the nullification of all the voyels, that they are all in that all of the Ayin is include all 70. Ayin is the numerical value of 70. That all 70 is included in the name, meaning all 70 is the seven emotions.
I think what he's saying is that the name includes all the worlds.
Yeah.
And all the worlds are included in that big Ayin, which is the big 7.
Yeah, and the Ayin itself is included in the Shem.
That's not what
it's Shem Ayin. The Shem is the Ayin, no? Something like that.
The Shem means the worlds. So when you say Shema Yisrael, Shem, after you did the Bina, how each world is included in the higher level than it.
Yeah.
And you did all that, that's all only included in Hashem's name.
Yeah.
As compared to the motion attributes in Hashem's essence, which is the Ayin. Not only it's a 10 times 7, which is 70, but it's a big Ayin. It's Hashem's emotion attributes.
Meaning it's Hashem's Ayin, not our Ayin.
How they are in Him.
Like there's the big man and the little man. This is talking in the big man.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of this is incorporated in the aspect of his Beinunus. What does it mean in the ascent aspect, in the going in his Beinunus is going up, meaning how we going up to his Beinunus?
No, he's saying that the name, all that his Beinunus that you did, and all that understanding that you had first, how all the created worlds are included in Malchus of Atzilus, because it creates them. And then how Malchus of Atzilus is completely nullified to, let's call it Chachma and Bina of the world of Atzilus, and Chachma and Bina is completely nullified to the emanator himself. And all that is all included in Shem and name. But Hashem himself has emotion attributes, and that is symbolized by the big Ayin. There's 7 emotions. And like you said, the big man has 10 times 7, and it's a big one. And that name, which is all the worlds, are included in those godly 7.
So this means when we're doing his Beinunus, meaning we're going up and up.
That's
and
the
up
Bina
and up
that we
with these
talked about.
Beinunus.
Right, that's the Bina that we talked about.
And because we're bringing ourselves closer and closer to the Eibishter and our Beinunus.
Right, but that essence of the Ein Sof, which is indicated by the Ayin, is completely exalted over both the lower unity and the higher unity.
Okay. So first you do this Beinunus going up and up like this.
Yeah.
But then it's like a ratzu and a shuv, yeah?
Yeah.
But then afterwards we have to, the contemplation has to now come back down, because we have to realize how the essence of Hashem is one, even in those worlds hidden and revealed that are just a name, meaning that first we say, look, all this stuff is
something. Gimel Aleph, we skipped something.
What we skipped?
In the going up from the Shem Ayin,
Yeah.
now you reach a higher level, even than the big Ayin.
Meaning above the big Ayin.
Yes, and what that is the essence of the Jewish soul, called Yisroel, Shema Yisroel. So you're going up.
Through the Shema, we reach Yisroel.
First Shem and then Ayin, Shema, and then you reach the essence of the Jewish soul, which is called Yisroel.
Okay. And then once you reach that, then you come, then your contemplation.
That level of Yisrael is exalted even over the godly attributes, the 7 godly attributes.
So where is this Yisrael?
What do you mean, where is it? It's Yisrael Saba.
Yisrael Saba. So it is the emotions of the Chachma of Hashem, of Atzilus. Wow. So this is
I
for
don't
sure
even
higher.
think it's of Atzilus. I think it's in Hashem's essence. And that's the essence of the Jewish soul, which is higher than the emotion attributes of Hashem himself. That's what he's saying here.
Okay.
And this is all the going up to reach that level of Israel. And afterwards,
Now that you've reached this level of Yisrael, now the point is not just to stay up there, but you got to bring it down and realize that really all of this essence of Hashem, it's that you went up from the worlds and up, and now you have to realize, but wait a second, the essence of Hashem is in all the worlds too. It's everywhere.
In the
It's
name.
in the name.
Also.
Yeah. So realizing that the essence of Hashem is one, even in those worlds hidden and revealed that are created by the mere name, that are created by the mouth of Atzilus. Because really everything is from him, right? As like the Rambam says, that from his true existence exists all existence. There is no existence besides him, and all existence is only from his existence. So therefore, all the worlds and everything is really just him.
And that's what Gidon was saying.
Gidon, that was in the Torah this week.
That's what Gidon was saying, that the Metzias. He was talking about the Metzias.
Yeah, the only Metzias, the only existence. Anyways, so
Matzah man.
So, and then the next thing is Havaya El Shema. That was Shema Yisrael, and that comes next in it is Shema Yisrael Havaya Elokeinu. That the one, who is our Elokeinu, who is our God, is Havaya, the one and only, this one and only Hashem, who is the only existence, the essence and the being of Hashem. And finally, Hashem is one in all of creations.
That's what we bring down. That's what we show.
That he is the chief of the world. Then we say Echad, right? Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad.
So the word
Hashem is
Echad,
one. Yeah.
The Aleph is the chief of the world.
This is amazing, B'tzalel, because this is also in the Likutei in the Torah this week. Just like we were talking before, that the Torah is alive. Yeah. Anyways, so in Echad is Aleph. This is the one.
The Lufo Shalom,
the chief
the
of the
boss
world.
of the world, yeah.
The big boss.
Yeah.
And then Ches is 8, which is the 7 heavens and the 8. And then the 4 directions is Dallas. The last.
So you have the boss
Dallas.
of the world.
Dallas, not Dallas, Texas. I mean Dallas Olive Base.
You want to hear the Dallas song?
Yeah, let's hear the Dallas song.
Poor old Mr. Dallas, he's all bent over. He just keeps walking along.
Yeah, because that's how a Dallas looks. Anyways, so now afterwards, we say, what do we say after Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad? Yes, that's it. Baruch Shem, you win the mitzvah, boy, guys.
You say it real loud.
Yeah, it's Yom Kippur. You say it to the guy next to you. He goes, ah. Anyway, yes. So afterwards,
what is that name, Baruch Shem?
Baruch Shem Kavod, right? Praised be the name of His glory, right? Meaning the true power to create from nothing through His glorious name, which is Malchus, because Malchus is called His name. Bless the glory of His name and kingship. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus. And this is similar to what we learned in chapter 1. That when the depth of Bina is achieved to the length and width of the explanation, right? Because to the length and width of the explanation, and you go over it and over it, you reach the depth of the Bina. Yeah. So first you go over the length.
And everybody should understand that depth here means an upper depth. It doesn't mean
a lower depth. Like it's not the imik tachas, it's the imik groim.
Correct.
It's the upper depth, meaning that you reach, like when you say, oh, this idea is so deep.
I was
swimming up. Anyways, so through this you reach the depth of Bina. Okay, and by bonding to the point through the concentration of the mind, which is Das, yeah. So the depth you connect to it through concentrating the mind to Das, and through this one reaches the Chachma itself, the idea itself that the Bina was explaining. Until he bonds to the depth and source of even the Chachma, which is the bonds to the Koyach HaMaskil, the idea generator.
Yeah.
And he bonds to it until a new Chachma is drawn down from it, that this awakens the Koyach HaMaskil to give down another new idea, a new Chachma.
Which is like we had in chapter 1, And that level of the das on the koach hamaskil is called
Mainik. It's called Mainik. And so the reaching and the bond to the Koach hamaskil, this is the going up, right? Because we're starting with just the width and the length of the explanation. We're starting at the very bottom of the explanation, and we're working our way up to the explanation until finally we reach the point of the explanation. And then to the point of the explanation, we can reach the actual idea itself, and then the point of the idea itself, and then we reach even what the idea came from, and we can even cause a new idea. So this is all going from down to up.
Well, the new idea is going to
be the down.
Yeah, that comes through the mimic. So he's
So
explaining.
Bitzalo, this is like it was just saying in the Shema Yisrael, yeah? That's the going up and that's the going down.
Exactly it.
Okay.
He's just explaining it according to how it is in the Hasidic contemplation.
Right, like we said yesterday, from my flesh I see Hashem, that we're using a muscle of a poison, and to the muscle of how an idea works in a poison, we're understanding how it is above. So,
it says it here.
Yeah, so the reaching and bond to the Koach hamaskil is the going up dynamic, and the new chachma that comes out of the idea generated, similar in our case to the realization that really Hashem is really one with all the creations, and which is the descent.
That's a new idea, because the original thing was only a name.
Was we nullified to the name. Everything
was only a name, but now you see, no, it's really Hashem.
He is in the name, and He is in everything. Yeah. So really Hashem Himself is one with the creations. This is the descent dynamic in Shema Yisrael. Hashem is one.
So the Alter Rebbe said that the animal goes in with his ring, and he goes out with his ring. You pull the animal with the ring.
Yeah.
And the ring is the same for the word for a melody, for shir. So you go in with the shir and out with the shir. That's his thing.
Yeah, they go with the song and go.
Let's have a niggin, because
let's if we're gonna go in with the song, which we did already, and we know later we're gonna go out with the song, we might as well have a middle with the song.
What are you going to do?
I think like something lively, maybe. A cycle song or something.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And all this comes.
1 second, we put the screen back.
That was transformative. That was a very groovy song there.
Okay, and all this comes to starting with the iyun, meaning going over and over and over again, of how the created worlds are created and enlivened by the decree of the divine kingship, Malchus Vatzilus, as we know that he said, let there be light, etc., that these are his voids, so to speak. And this is the Malchus of Atzilus, which is
That
his
is
kingship.
the decree of
The
the
decree
king.
of his
Let
king.
there be
When
light.
he decreed there was not the light, and of course there was.
What?
After drawing down the realization that the unique one alone is in fact one with all the worlds and creatures and emanations, and that we actually have accomplished the mitzvah of understanding Hashem's unity. Hear, O Israel, listen, Israel, meaning do his vainanus, contemplate and understand that Hashem is one. So then we can proceed to understand the first paragraph of Shema and its particular commandments according to the construct of the whole person we described, the seichel, right, and midas, and emotion, which is thought.
After intellect and emotion,
and then thought, speech, and action. Okay. So the iyun, this going over again and again, brings one finally to an arousal of love for Hashem, which is another commandment also. It says, "V'ahavto es Hashem
paragraph.
It says, love Hashem your God, right? Which is an inclusion of the higher emotional attributes, because the emotions, like we know, has the 3 higher and the 3 lower. So the 3 higher ones is chagas, is chesed, kindness, gevurah, strength, and tiferes, beauty. And this is accomplished through the absorption, by absorbing, it's called klita, to absorb of the light of the understanding of Hashem in the physical brain, which this understanding is called tevuna.
Which means the emotion attributes of the intellect.
Yeah. So then to a resolution, to act, the nehi, this is the lower 3. Like we said before, there's the higher 3, and now there's the lower 3 emotions, which is netzach, hoid and yesod, victory, glory, and foundation, right, which is called nehi, of the emotions. But this is meaning the resolution to do something. He didn't do it yet, but this is the resolution to do something. And finally, actual action. Bam! Actual action. This is Malchus, is actual, the actual nehi. This is the actual nehi, not the nehi of the emotions. Because there is the nehi of the emotions. The nehi of the emotions means that I have decided to act. But then you know how it works, like, because then all of a sudden, a pretty potato chip comes in front of us. We say, wait a second, what is this potato chip? And we can forget that. So I've made the resolution to act. But then comes nehi, when I actually act, the payal maise, bam. Okay. So you should love includes, like the ahavta, the commandment. This commandment, and you shall love. A potato chip. Oh no, I'm not falling for this. This love includes 3 things. It says, and you should love Hashem b'chol levavcha, with all your heart, b'chol nafshecha, with all your soul, and v'chol me'eidecha, all your might. Which so right, this is yeah. These the three things. These three things is the chagas.
A good TikTok that'll get us going.
Right, so that's the first one. Is the chagas which is what? Which is the loving and emotion. The second aspect of and you should love. And I'm sorry, that's the b'chol nafshecha v'chol midech. Then there comes the resolution to act that I'm making a commitment to act. This is v'dibarta bum. I like to say v'dibarta bam. V'dibarta bum, and you should teach it to the children. Right?
The children is netzach.
Which, that's because those are the midis that are born out of the higher midis. So these are called children. But then, if you remember, it's not enough just to make a commitment to act. What does the Rebbe need? He needs to do Hashem's will. He asks us to do Hashem's will. He says, you have to do Hashem's will. It's not enough to think about it and make commitments. You need to do Hashem's will. And this is the actual Nehi. Tell them to write to tie them on your arms and write them on your mezuzah post, like we know that the Rebbe. This is why he encouraged all of us to go out and put another tefillin on somebody, and for the Jewish women to light the Shabbos candles, and to put on tefillin and to put mezuzahs and kashrus, because the main thing it comes down is we want this nehi, we want this action, bam.
Yeah, but that's in some way you would say the Barta bum.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, hey, you bum. Anyways, so this is the main thing, is to do this. However, what does this come from? All of these, both the loving of Hashem and making a commitment to act, and finally acting, comes to learning Chassidus, to doing his Baininus and Iyun, and going over and over the Chassidus, so that because through this we come to realize how great Hashem is. And of course, when you realize how great Hashem is, you also realize if we saw nothing and yet He loves us so much, and this makes you love Hashem very much. And then, of course, you want to just be close to Hashem, and you want to do His Torah and His mitzvahs.
Amen.
Oh, and that's why His Baininus has, you see, he laid into His Baininus. That's why His Baininus has two nuns, a bent nun and a long nun.
Very good. Thank you, Gimel Aleph.
That's good stuff, Bitzali.
Very nice, Gimel Aleph.
Well, what do you say, Lee? So what do you want to do? Yehi Ratzon milfonecho Hashem Elokeinu Aviseinu O Tati Alkim, won't you do a good thing? And please join with your people, and the angels all sing, oh glorious King. Won't you please join with your people? They made you a crown. Won't you come back around? And please join with your people. Oh, Tati Akin, won't you do a good thing?
And it don't mean nothing
unless you please join with your people.
It's that boogie.
Shemon Nevi Sami Dash Meira Beyameinu Sing Chelkeinu Seira Secha Shemon Nevi Sami Dash Meira Beyameinu Sing Chelkeinu Seira Secha Hey Shemon Nevi Sami Dash Meira Beyameinu Sing Chelkeinu Seira Secha Shemot nevi sami dosh, meiro beyomeinu, sing chelkeinu v'seiro secho. Shemot nevi sami dosh, meiro beyomeinu, sing chelkeinu v'seiro secho. Shemot nevi sami dosh, meiro beyomeinu, sing chelkeinu v'seiro secho. Oh, Shemot nevi sami dosh, meiro beyomeinu, sing chelkeinu v'seiro secho. Shemot nevi sami dosh, meiro beyomeinu, sing chelkeinu v'seiro secho. Oh, Shemot nevi sami dosh, meiro beyomeinu, sing chelkeinu v'seiro secho. Shemot nevi sami dosh, meiro beyomeinu. Sing the Chelkeinu, v'seiro secho.
All right,
Good stuff.
good stuff. So what should we have? A sign off? The
A sign off sounds good.
ready?
Gezintahait, 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 my friend.
Remember, kids, Gezintahait.
Yeah.